hit that button, when I hit that button, I gotta hide my bald spots. When I touch that button, there's a countdown. I'm gonna keep doing these lives, I guess. People are watching them. People are, it got up in 187 or had 189 views. So I must be doing something right. If people are, even if it is out of curiosity, that people are clicking on these videos. Oh, light the candle. Light the candle. Light the candle. Morbid curiosity. It is out of sheer morbid curiosity that I'm allowing this freak show to continue. I guess this is a social experiment to see who shows up. We'll all be there to greet her when she comes. We will all be there to greet her when she comes. I'm almost done. I'm going to hurry up and get an ice cream. I'm going to get me an ice cream before my mom eats them all. Hello! It's a race. It's a race to see who eats the ice cream first. I'm going to come back. And when I come back, hello, I'm a big fan of yours. I was hoping if your day has been good, and I am a game, so I will see you later. Okay. Thank you for being a fan. Thank you for being a fan. Hi. Durga. I'm getting a lot of people from India, I've noticed. How to get off from depression. When you find out, let me know. Depression, you need to change your mind. I've noticed that when I'm going through depression, hi, welcome to Eddie's Funhouse. Wow, it got dark in here. When you're experiencing depression, you need to figure out how you got there. What brought you to the state of depression? And do the opposite. Because sometimes if you're depressed, you dwell on something too long. Like if it's a failure or a sadness. Chance, hello. Welcome to Eddie's Funhouse. Eddie's Funhouse is a fun house of the mind. Because I guess there is such a thing as mental real estate. Okay. What's up? I think they call it mental, because you can be in a place in your mind, and if you stay in that place too long, you wind up, hi, welcome. Yes, I remember you. My name is Elias from Nice to Meet You. I guess that's what we'll do here. We'll get familiar with one another. People are, where they come from. I don't like my father. He brought disgrace to me. Huh. That's pretty heavy. How are you? I'm doing all right. How are you? Hey, we come here to have fun, I guess. I can't. No, you can't change him. No, you can change you, but only to what degree? What degree can we change ourselves? Some of us are not ready to change, and when we are, it takes a lot to change. Some changes come automatically, and some changes come over time. We have to go through what we like about ourselves. What do you like about yourself? Are you happy with yourself, your habits? Sometimes it's our habits, good, bad, or indifferent. Because sometimes it's a habit to be depressed. You feel like dying? I think everybody does. At one time in their life, or maybe a few times in their life, they feel like they're just done living. Are you Takistan? No, I'm not. I'm not familiar. That's you. That's over near Russia, near Ukraine, near. There's a lot of places I'm not familiar geographically with a lot of places. G'day. I guess this is why I'm here. I'm going to learn. I'm going to slowly learn dance. So Rodolfo wants me to dance. Dance to the music. This is how I dance. I just bob my head, do a little, depending on how good the music is. If the music is really good, it affects other parts of my body. Where am I from? I am from California in the United States. What? Oh, could you tell me how to find the purpose? You know what? I think each person finds their own purpose. I can't tell you because your life is unique. Everyone's life is unique to themselves. If I sound like a therapist, good diet and exercise can help with depression. Yes, I know. Have you noticed that? If you're eating well, if you're doing well, you're in India. I've noticed that. There are a lot of people who come to my show from India. Bust a move. Let me see. What can I dream up? Can I do the hand roll? I can reverse my hand roll. Then I can clap. I can clap. I can clap. What was that song? Now bust a move. Jump it up 3 times. Now everybody clap. You probably remember that song. Alex can help some. That's what time a California. It was when I was a kid. I was living in California. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming by. How to write good jokes. I guess you learn that as you go. I heard a comedian say it takes 10 years. It takes about 10 years to get a good routine, to get down good bits. Rapper's delight was bust a move. That's right. Rapper's Delight. Why is my brain freezing all of a sudden? My brain just stopped working. I guess that's what it takes is a good rap song. I like the songs to Office Space. Have you ever listened to those? What is the time now? Being funny, being a comedian are... Yes, they are. Yes. You can be a comedian, but you probably aren't very funny. Let's say, it's 2 o'clock here. And this is when I raise my voice. I raise my voice and raise the roof. Raise the roof, come on, raise the roof. That's from Tim and Eric. I always like watching Tim and Eric whenever I get depressed. I am amazed. I am amazed. Look at the height of this candle flame. That is a high candle flame. I was talking about that in my last one. Comedian, do you see Mr. Bean? Yes. That's Rowan Atkinson. Mr. Bean. I guess he's right up there with Benny Hill. Benny Hill and Monty Python. All those British comedians. The one now I think is Ricky Gervais. Watching Tim and Eric was an emotional roller coaster. Tim and Eric, awesome show. I like the Monkees song. Did you see the Monkees song? It was John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell. I'm a little monkey. Do you know S and K? SRK? No. I do not know SRK. I keep saying I'm going to go outside, but I don't. I don't go outside. I think it's because I don't want to be disappointed. Sometimes I take a walk and I'm disappointed. I think that's what it is people in India are interested in our culture. There are some, I can tell they're learning English. They're becoming they want to communicate. I think they're like we are with like the Japanese. Some of them, we have an interest. There are people who have interest in British culture or the French. I hear Americans, some of them like the French language. They call it the language of love, like Pepe. Anyways, I guess everybody has an interest that they pursue for whatever reason. Mine was China. I always liked watching movies from China and Japan, and then became interested. And then it was Viking culture. Then it was Greek culture. I guess that's what it takes, is a pursuing. Oh, wow. Look what this flame is doing. Oh, it stops right when I get ready. The flame was doing this. It was doing this, not just this. It was moving like a serpent, like a rattlesnake. Wait a second. Bollywood, that's right. Is that who you are? Have you been in a Bollywood movie? Those are pretty celebratory. The music is kind of catchy. It was really I was really fascinated with Brazil as a teen. I've always really loved Eastern media. Yeah. Sometimes you can get not caught up, but uh, yeah, the media is how we learn things from other countries. And then when you go to the country, you realize it's not all what the media told you. I considered living in Asia. Huh. That's weird how some people are motivated. Some people are motivated to come to other countries. I noticed that Russian people are motivated to come to America and they move in, they establish themselves. Who else? Oh, British. Who was that guy from across the pond? Lawrence. Lawrence is still interested in the differences between Britain and America. Hindi. They say Hindu is the oldest religion. And I noticed some similarities between, yeah, British. Britain isn't far from India. Are you unemployed? Not really. You can be employed and just not make any money. Kind of like me. I'm I'm employed in many ways, but I'm trying to turn that into a way to make money. It's really odd. I've never experienced this before. Sumerian religions that we know of. Yeah, there's Sumeria, Babylonian, and Atlantis. I don't think a lot of people talk about Atlantis. And there's Lumeria. Lumeria was a civilization that I think was around during the time of Atlantis. Is Switzerland good for IT jobs? I really don't know. That's what's weird is we have to find out by finding out. When we go out, like the pioneers, you know, the pioneers of the U.S., they all just headed west and they were into coal mining, gold mining, um, ranching, farming, whatever, you know. Some people didn't succeed, and that's what's hard to accept. Not everyone succeeds. They set out to change their lives. Pioneering, it's a brave move. And then the things they left behind. And then being able to be a Renaissance man. Renaissance in French means rebirth. And that's what happened after the Roman Empire. And I think it's happening again. Renaissance. That's what we're entering into, probably a new Renaissance. Everyone is going to have to find different ways to adapt. I think that's the best survivors. The best survivors are the ones who can adapt. Because sometimes, hey, you're a cartoonist at Disneyland, and all of a sudden CGI and Pixar, then you don't have a job anymore. You know, people there are a lot of starving artists. So yeah, it's scary. You got to keep moving all the time, adapting to new climates, new interests. It seems like interests change over the years. Pokemon might be a big deal for a while, baseball cards, comic books, and then all of a sudden the interests change. I think that's where market research comes in. Oh, what are they into now? Yeah, used to be. T-shirts are a big deal now. They still are. They were back in 2017 and before. People were buying T-shirts that said things, pictures on T-shirts and mugs. I guess merch. is something that holds the interest of the populace or the people. But it is weird. You know, you can have a lot of good stuff, but nobody's buying. What influences sometimes a t-shirt, you know, a t-shirt that talks about a movie that just came out. It's just like the changing of the tides. Sometimes it's just luck. Luck plays a big part sometimes. I'm glad that didn't happen to me. Or, wow, I'm glad I found that out. What do you think is the reason for U.S. dominating the world? I've noticed that too. You don't realize it until you go to other countries. But then there are people who really like America. I've heard some British people talk about America. It's like that's what they dream of, is being an American. And sometimes it's just opportunities. Like I've noticed people from Mexico, they come from Mexico because there's opportunities. But yeah, dominating. They call it, I don't know what to call it, because it's a balance between what people want. And yeah, I've noticed that there are bases everywhere. In just about every country, there's a military base or installment. But then again, conquest. It's kind of like the Vikings. The Vikings, the Romans, the Greeks. It was all about empire, establishing an empire. A lot of people benefit from it. It's the people who don't benefit from it, who don't like the idea, like occupations. It's funny how there's two sides to every coin. You've got the people who are the ones who are encroaching, and then there are the people who are being encroached upon, and to watch, I don't know. But then all the necessary evils that you see happening in the world over time when you watch history take place. It is interesting to think about, though. You know, they had the Brits, they had their music that kind of dominated, and other countries bring from their country to us. China, their markets. It used to be everything was made in Taiwan or made in Japan. Most of our products. It's a bit of give and take, it seems, from other countries. But yeah, you don't notice it until it's your country. When it's your country and you start to notice. I'm noticing a lot of takeovers. When I was young, there was just English on the radio. On the radio, you turn on the radio. Now there's a lot of Spanish stations, and they only speak Spanish. And I guess, yeah, you have to watch that kind of stuff. Watch the changes that happen over time. Like in California, there was an influx of the Muslim culture, but it's hard to talk about stuff like that because people get offended. It's like, wow, yeah, I'm noticing a big wave of culture shock and changes. And I guess that's part of rhythms, you know. So what are we talking about here? Are we talking about whatever whatever's on our minds. I think that's what's important. Whatever's on our minds, we need to address them. Those things that we're exposed to, those things that we experience in life, a good thing to do. Hi there, David. Welcome. I guess today, this is my second live today. I did a pretty good live. Well, I got a lot of views on my other live, so I thought, why not do it again? Like when you go to a ride, you go, can we do that again? Can we do it again, Dad? Sometimes these have a pretty good turnout. It's like inviting people to a barbecue. Sooner or later, you get a turnout. Loretta Lynn. Wow. I haven't heard from Loretta Lynn. You know what? I do remember that name, but it's been a long time. See, my mother likes country music. My brother likes country music. But I'm more eclectic. You know, I'll listen to some Ronnie Millsap, some Kenny Rogers, Charlie Daniels. But sometimes it's Spider Girl. Welcome. Hi, how are ya? It is the family show. Who else do I listen to? Wasn't Loretta Lynn the coal miner's daughter? I think that was her. Loretta Lynn. Or was that Crystal Gale? It's been a long time. I'm 56 years old. I do remember you. You're thinking of passing on your Barbie collection. Thoughts on Garth Brooks? He worked at Kmart. Garth Brooks. Chris Gaines, that was his alternate ego. Yeah, Garth Brooks. When the thunder rolls and the lightning strikes, I've got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. How? It's like, I have to give away my plushes. You have to? Wow. You said you're 10 years old, 11 years old, and you got to give up your plushes? Are they starting to crowd your bed? Sometimes I see a lot of, they collect all their plush toys. You have too many. Okay. Well, yeah, sort out the ones you want to keep and bestow them upon friends. You could regift. People regift. Just look through all your plushes and say, well, this one can go to this person. I don't have to give them all my plushes away, but I just have to give them to charity. Yeah, Goodwill. Goodwill is a good start. Just put them all in like a big bag. Or you know what? You can set up a carnival game to where people win your plush toys. You don't do that, sadly. Gather up all your plush toys, give them to charity. That'd be a good way to make a profit. Make like a ring toss or bowling, a bowling game. People can win your plush toys. Step right up and pop this balloon. Pop some balloons with a dart and win a plush toy. You don't got any. I don't got any plush toys. Some people collect Legos. Legos was a big deal for a while. Legos were a big deal. Maybe they are. You like Star Wars Legos? The Star Wars universe. You love Legos. You know what Legos means in French? Play well. Legos means play well. I remember they were just blocks when they first came out. Back when I was a little boy, they were they were a bunch of little blocks. Some of them had um, rooftops. You could build little houses out of your Legos. Now you can build a spaceship. You could build a Land Rover out of Legos. They have like dragons and knights, and that's right. The only limit is your imagination. Same with Legos. You've melted, you melted down your Legos to make them into plastic blocks. Melt down your Legos. People are finding interesting things to make out of plastic. In Canada, they were making bricks. They were making bricks that you could build houses out of, if I remember right. They just melted down plastic, and you click together these bricks and they make walls. Thoughts on frogs? I like listening to them at night. You ever hear frogs? You sit by the lake or by the river and you hear rah, rah, rah. Froggies. There are certain frogs that you can't touch. The poison arrow frogs. I would have poured them out on bugs. So you like to torture bugs, huh? I think that's cruel. You know, like putting salt on a snail, stuff like that. I guess we have to find different things to entertain ourselves. What's a good thing for entertainment? Taking all the plastic out of the ocean. There's also the poison dart frog that I learned in third grade for second grade. I don't remember. Yeah, they're pretty frogs. They're red and black, and they come in other colors. And people put poison. That's how they poison their darts. You ate school? Oh, you hate school. It's like, I also do that, but your chat on when you go live. Blue. So are you new to this chat? A lot of people are just finding out about Eddie's Funhouse. Thoughts on George Jones? George Jones. Why does that not ring a bell? George Jones. Remind me who that is. There's so many Georges out there. Hiya. George Jones. There's Davy Jones and David Jones. No, I need to know how to put my chat on my live stream so I can read them. Okay. Some of those tutorials that I look up, they're people who I don't think English is their first language. Not to be rude, but I can barely make out what they're saying. Click here, click there. Like you are now. That comes with the package. As soon as you start a live, you should start to see the chat. I'm eating hamburger and grabs. Oh. Eating hamburger all by itself, or is it on a bun? You know what? Depression is when we don't get enough sleep. That's what Jim Carrey was saying. When you're depressed, you need deep rest. Maybe that's what it is we're being worked so much, we don't have a chance to rest. I make myself. Everybody name one thing you got for Christmas. Yeah, what did you get for Christmas? Talk about the depression I learned about a Great Depression. Yeah, that was the Great Depression in the 1930s. I think it was the Roaring Twenties, and then there was the Great Depression. The Wizard of Oz was filmed around 1939. Things got better during the 40s, I think, and then the 50s. I would like to go live during the 50s. You was sad? iPhone 18 and a new iPad. Well, that's cool. You got some techie stuff. Thoughts on jackrabbits? They're larger than you'd expect. I used to see jackrabbits in California. Jackrabbits. They're very powerful jumpers. They're more nocturnal, I've noticed. I don't see a lot of jackrabbits until nighttime. Does anybody like croc cheating? Croc cheating? What is that? Is that a typo? All right, I gotta go live now. All right, I wish you luck. That's what it takes, is forming relationships, gaining rapport. Even though you can't see them, they can see you. That'll be interesting when I'm able to see my audience. I wonder if they're going to do some kind of a change up. They're going to change it up a bit. Make it so that I can see the people I'm talking to. Crotcheting? Crotchetting? You're going to watch a movie, all right. On your phone. Crotchetting on your phone. Ask what crotchetting spells. Oh, it looks like something naughty, something that's for the adult show. Has someone taken over your... Sometimes that happens. Somebody takes over another person's, what do they call it? Their channel, their account. Thoughts on gators? I don't want to be near them. They're stealthy hunters. You don't know they're there until you go to take a drink. Have you noticed that? Like zebras. People call them zebras or zebras. They go to take a drink and all of a sudden these jaws come up out of the water. And they don't hunt by themselves sometimes. Sometimes there are a series of jaws that come at you. They're one of the older creatures on the earth. There's caimans, crocodiles, alligators. They're all basically... The scarier one is the Komodo dragon. The Komodo dragon. Those are voracious eaters and hunters. Very aggressive hunters. I think there are a lot. I've never seen one up close, or I've always seen them in videos and on television. You're not naughty? Well, good for you. This is a not naughty show. That's what we could call it. This time that I chat with people, the populace, to gain rapport, to get understanding. It is. That's right. The Not Naughty Show. Thoughts on camels? They were known as the ships of the desert. Camels can spit. They can spit, I think, 15 feet or something like that. They do well. They don't have to hydrate very often, if they are in fact hydrated. They have special feet too for walking on sand. I always hear a certain type of music when I think of camels. Like Arabian Nights, I think of Arabian Nights. Camels. There are one-hump camels and two-hump camels. What is a camel hump, Ed? I think it is. They used, I guess they thought that that's where they store water, but I think it is fat. Fatty tissue. I don't know. How would you find out? I guess science can be pretty cruel. Oh, well, should I go since this is the naughty show? This is not the naughty show. I said this is the not naughty show. This is for the family. If you feel like hanging out, you can learn about camels, what little I know about camels. Yeah. I usually delete people when it is an adult show. I start timing people out. When you see people being timed out, that's when it's the adult show. I'm thinking of doing away with the adult show because not many people come to the adult show. These are the most successful ones. These are the ones where most people come because it's enjoyable, I guess. Everyone's included. There's flying kites. Did you see the video of that 3-year-old that was taken up by a kite? This 3-year-old kid was tangled up in the kite tail and it took to the air and the little kid was just flying in the air. It's like, wow. It was a pretty big kite. It was a huge orange kite. I was watching that last night. I go, what a thrill. You're just attached to a kite as it leaves the ground. You get to see an aerial view of everything. But I guess if you're afraid of heights, or you suddenly realize you're afraid of heights, sadly, our last radio, this little boy, he was supposed to ride a sheep, but he wrote the tractor into the river, and sadly he drowned. Oh, that's sad to hear. But this kid that was attached to a kite, it survived. 3-year-old, I wonder how you would register that. Hey, I'm up in the air. Thoughts on doing wash clothes, the wash clothes? Doing the laundry? I like it, as long as there's not a lot of it. Sometimes laundry can become an all-day thing. That's what I don't like. I like just washer, dryer, done, you know. But it becomes something. It becomes a thing you're doing all of a sudden. But we still put a sheep for him to remember him in honor of him. Well, that's nice. So he was supposed to ride a sheep, but then drove a tractor into the, what was that? Drove a tractor into the river. Wow. How old was this kid? Thoughts on fried meat? Fried meat. I guess it sounds good if you use herbs and spices. I like to bake meat. Oh, he was 3? Wow. So one kid, we got to watch these 3-year-olds. A 3-year-old driving a tractor? How did he get up there? Yeah, those raise questions. Those thoughts. Thoughts on a 3-year-old driving a tractor. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now he's 4. Happy birthday, little dude. Yeah. People do that. They, even after someone passes away, they keep track of how old they would be. Those are the saddest ones, are the ones who die at a young age. You ever go to a graveyard and you read tombstones? Their birth date and their death date? Sometimes people don't live very long. But then there are people who just seem to live very long. It's like, yes, don't you agree? time is it now? Oh, it's 2:34. Not too late in the day. It's late enough to start thinking about dinner. We usually have dinner around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And then it's off to bed. I guess New Year. We're going to have to start thinking about the new year. I heard the human can live up to 120 years old. That's the limit unless you're immortal. Yeah, like Greek gods. That's right. I hear about the Epic of Gilgamesh. That guy lived for a long time. Moses lived for a long time. I think Noah. That's interesting. How people started having shorter lifespans. It would be nice to be mortal. Think of the possibilities. Think of how much you could learn and experience. Have a lot of fun. If you could always eat when you need to. You could always change jobs. Get a job that's really cool. Ed, what would you do by 5-year-old's birthday? What would I buy for a 5-year-old? I'd just give them some money. That's what I think excites a kid, when they get money. Give them like $10 and then take them to a toy store, take them to Walmart or Target and say, then you teach them the value of money, him or her. That's the value of money. This is what $10 will get you. Some bubble gum and a little toy. Wait, so you know how 10 how old will be? You can. You just add. I guess what you would do is subtract 2035 from 2017, or whenever the kid was born. So if he's 10 years old, yeah. That would be an interesting math problem. So if a kid is 10 years old, how old he will be. So I guess you would add all those years, yeah, in 2016. If he was born, oh, you're 10, that's right. So subtract 2016 from 2035, and I think you will have your answer. Yeah, 2014. Okay. Well, again, subtract 2014, and I think that's how old? I'm pretty sure you will know how old the kid is. That's a good question. Yeah, so if you're born in 20, yeah, you would be 21 then. Possibly, yeah. What would you do on your 21st birthday? Have some friends over? I don't know what the economy is going to be like. If it's anything like it is today, there's not much hope. Hopefully we'll elect better presidents to make better decisions. It's amazing we're able to put off an inflation. We were able to freeze inflation for like 40 years, if I remember right. And then all of a sudden, why did we need inflation? Thoughts on having accounts, saving accounts. I think it's a good idea. Start saving as soon as you start making money. It would add up. Some people say just put away $100 a month. Saving accounts are good as long as you're not scammed, or as long as you don't have any medical issues. Medical issues can really drain the bank account if you don't have insurance. Even with insurance, there's so much insurance doesn't cover. That's what I'm concerned about next year. Having to pay your co-payments to see a specialist. I have to see a specialist. $10 is a lot of money to me. And if you have to see a specialist multiple times, what do they consider a specialist? I can't get help if I don't have that $10. I think what they need to go for is centralized healthcare. So many countries have centralized healthcare. Why don't we? Oh Lord, why don't we? Why don't we have centralized? By now, we should have centralized healthcare. Because insurance companies decide on your health. Insurance companies decide what quality your medication is. You know, what kind of medication. They'll only pay for generic medications. If you want the really good stuff, yeah. Or any operations you have, the insurance company decides what you can and can't have. That's not healthy. That's why I think you need to follow the money. Follow the money, lads. Find out who the hell makes all this money while we go without. We go without operations we need. We go without medications we need. You know, because a lot of times it's the doctor is having to haggle with the insurance company. It's like the doctor is doing what they're trained to do. Anyways, tell me if I'm making sense. Hello, Bobo. Bobo only pops in for a little while. Do you know what? I know what a powwow is. It's when indigenous people come together and do ceremonies, dances. That's what a powwow is. And I know what a luau is. Do you remember me still? Is that why you come in, to see if I remember you? That's something youngsters usually say. I keep saying that. I can always tell how young a person is when they say, do you remember me? Who doesn't remember you? How can people forget? What is that? A computer? A computer keyboard? PayPal. It used to be nobody would do business with you unless you had PayPal. Unless that's how, because that's how you can keep track of your money sometimes. When you buy something and you don't receive it, PayPal can freeze the account. Now I don't know anymore. I use PayPal. If you look in the description, that's how people can donate to this channel. Plush. Oh. Should I give away my pink and blue puppy plush? How attached are you to it? Again, that's something you could pass on to your kids. Or keep it when you're sad. You know, when you're feeling sad, just pull out your puppy plush and maybe you'll feel better. Or maybe when you go to a friend's house, you can share your plush toy. But that's me trying to think like a kid. That's what you should do. Make videos saying, should I give this away? You'll keep that. That's right. You give things away that you don't want anymore. Somebody else might want it. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Yes, someone might like your plush toys that you're willing to part with. Again, you could set up a carnival booth. Get yourself a top hat and a cane. Hey everybody, step right up. Here's your chance to win a plush toy. Wow. I don't think this is a scented candle. I've lit this candle many times, and I'm not smelling anything besides wax. Maybe they only scent the first part of it. I'm going to give away my pink Hello Kitty. There you go. You're just going to give it away? I see you having a yard sale. Get out there and have a yard sale. Say, what's your best offer? Put out all your plush toys. Have an adult watching over, making sure you don't get ripped off. You can sell them on eBay. Put your plush toys on eBay. You might have the plush toy someone's looking for. Well, well, I'm a dreamer, you know. I get visions. I get visions of kids selling their plush toys. Pulling up into a parking lot, they meet up with another kid. They look around. They exchange the money for the plush toy. They go on some internet medium. They say, I'm going to meet you in the parking lot. Be there at 2 o'clock. Because you know, some kids don't have. I know, some of them don't have money. You know what? That's a good idea. Give your toy to someone who doesn't have the financial, you know, resources, financial stability. That makes you feel good, doesn't it? You find a kid who doesn't have any money, you say, here, have my plush toy. That might make their day. You're heading off? Okay, thank you for saying so. Sometimes I wonder what happens to people. They're there, and then they're not. And then they're not. Excuse me for that. Yeah. It's been 57 minutes. Well, I'm glad to see you back, Spider Girl. You were here on one of my other lives. So now you're sorting through your plush toys. I should give away my lady plush toy from. That could be, yes. Just find a kid who really wants one. You might make a new friend. Thank you. Thank you for that plush toy. They'll remember that probably for the rest of their life. They might keep it and say, you know what? Somebody gave me this. I'm from one of your lives. Yes, I remember that. Do you feel like you're being ignored? You were putting those buffers up. Well, but it's kind of really new, so I don't know what to do. Well, give yourself some time. Don't make any quick decisions. But think of how happy that kid will be. A kid who didn't get anything for Christmas. You hand them a Disney plush toy, and they'll say, thank you, Santa. Guess what? I'll put it in the, there we go, the maybe pile. You're very organized. I like that. Put them in the maybe pile. Of course, but maybe I'll give away this plush toy. I got, so you have the definitely pile and the maybe pile. And then you have the I'm keeping this pile. Yeah, then if you fall, you'll land on your plush toys. That'll be like your safety net. Just get a pile of plush toys. If ever you feel like you're going to fall over, you can land on your plush toys. Plush toys are so cute. I see those at Walgreens. When I go to Walgreens, on the way out, they have a shelf where they have all the plush toys. The T and Y, I guess they're T and Y toys. They're like monkeys and dragons and tigers and whatever seasonal ones they got. You got Midneve? What's Midneve? I guess this is the highlight. The highlight of the show is when I listen to kids talk about what plush toys they're going to give away. Has anything ever graduated from the maybe pile to the I'm keeping this pile? That'd be awesome. That's what you can do. You can invite a friend over. Say, hey, do you want to look through my plush toys? You can hide the maybe pile. You can hide the I'm keeping this pile. You got a Minecraft. Okay. Roblox seems to be the one that's really popular nowadays. Roblox. Well, what will I do now? It's been an hour. It's been an hour already. I guess we'll do this again tomorrow. I'm glad some of you can make it. 2 people. We have Bobo and we have Spider Girl. We're discussing the need 'em, got 'em. Right. Well, that's cool that we can all have decent conversations about decent. We could call this the decent show. This is very decent. People are coming on to my live and we're chatting. No, I kind of like Eddie's Funhouse, you know? Fun for all ages. I think that's what it is. I'm going to need to discuss with everybody in the different age ranges. Because I notice some people kind of back out when it is a family show. Do you have a wife? No, I don't. I do not have a wife. My brothers each have wives. I don't know. I guess it's not my time yet. I think it should be. Aww. Yeah. Aww. You know what? You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? I don't know. I hope it gets better than this. That's what I always hope for. As long as it gets better than this. Our life experiences. It's so odd. We think we can plan things until we try to plan things. If you want to make God laugh, show him your plans. Yeah, because I have died from smoking. So I hope the world... Yeah, I know, just from smoking. You know what? They were really pushing smoking back in the 50s and the 60s. They wanted you to smoke them if you got them. They even had smoking on airplanes. Fred Flintstone was advertising. Who else was doing? Yeah, that's mind-blowing. Now everybody's saying, stop smoking. They had the Surgeon General warning. Cigarette smoking may cause cancer. Oops! It's what they put in it's what they put in the cigarettes that kill you. I used to work in apartments, you know, in the apartment communities, and people smoked a lot. 1 in maybe 20 people smoked cigarettes, and it would turn their apartment yellow. Everything smelled like, it was like they were hotboxing. They'd hotbox these cigarettes. It's horrible. It's got to get better. We got to pray about that. Pray about the gradual improvement of this world. This world needs... You'd think we would have gotten better by now. Since the 70s when I was a kid, things were better. Things were better in the 70s and the 50s. What's happening, it seems to be getting progressively worse. Here we are with our technological advances, our robots, We got more unhealthy people. I notice that every time I go to the hospital, lots and lots of unhealthy people. If they're not unhealthy, they're unhappy. Huh. Anyway, let's dwell on something positive. No wonder we're depressed. Look at where our minds go. Our minds go to that which depresses us. If you think about it, statistics show that 240,000 people, and for what? Just to make the drapes smell. The walls turn yellow. Okay, that's enough. I gotta think happy thoughts. That's what made Peter Pan fly. Pixie dust and happy thoughts. Or fairy dust, that's right, fairy dust. Bye. Well, thank you for sticking with me. Bye. All right. I think that's it. I think we've ended on a good note, kind of. I guess we can end this live. We'll see who shows up. Somebody watches these after the show is over. That's what I always do. I watch how many views I get after the show's over. I think it's the time zones. 5 likes. Not as good as last time, but it's worth writing down 5 likes today. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming for whatever reason you come here.